Hey guys, how's it going? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Still just getting some things set up. But I wanted to show you guys the stupid headphones. I wanted to show you guys the some of the progress we've been making and implement some of the additional feedback that's come through. So that's what we're working on today. There's the core rules. I'm just pulling up all of the different windows and things that we need. So with the Necrotic Tomb, Tom, Edward, EMM, good to see you guys. So with version 1, let me open that back up because I closed it too soon. That's not the right one. Okay, so with version 1, I did pull back just a little bit and clarify that going from 6 stats to 5 or 4 stats is definitely optional as part of the optional rules. You don't have to do that if you like it for whatever reason. You certainly can continue to use it. Where is it? I can't. I've got like every document open except for the one that I want. I was trying to show you guys, but I don't know. I've got like 12 documents and none of them are the right ones. So for the core rules or for version 1, some quick updates. I did add a note that hey, you don't have to, just to clarify, you don't have to use the 5 stats or the 4 stats. You can definitely just keep it how it is. Not sure how much you'll get into it today, but I believe feedback talks about it. Okay, yeah, planning on I hope to get through all of it today. Hoping to get through all of the feedback documents today. I made some updates to. Let me close out all the documents that I'm not currently using, just for my own sanity. So I'm going to take you guys through some of the changes, some of the smaller tweaks, as well as some of the bigger ones to the storm shifter. Oh, that could be so cool. I'm not sure what that is about. Ian, gonna go fast. Oh yeah. All of the feedback. Okay, so so with the heroic actions, so some abilities are free and do not cost an action or any other resource to perform, so like mana or whatever else, unless otherwise specified. I think that's the more intuitive view. So initially it was free things just don't cost an action, but it still costs mana or all the whatever the other things are. So for like the let's go up to the mage. So the mage's capstone. The mage's capstone. No, it wasn't. It was the stormshifter's capstone, I believe. So it used to say you can cast a spell up to tier 5 or 4 for free and without spending any additional mana, or for free and without spending mana. I think it makes sense just saying like free. Like free is free. Free is free. Like hey, this this cup of water is free, but it'll cost you whatever. So that kind of stuff. It didn't really make sense. So I tweaked the definition of free to mean what is more intuitively to what intuitively makes more sense. So and I was surprised, and I went through the heroes book search for free, and I updated all the reference to that. And surprisingly, I think there's only like 1 or 2 references that assumed that it still needed to use some other resource as well. So it was actually a pretty easy change, and I think it adds to the clarity. So you can cast a spell tier 4 for free when you enter or leave a beast shift form once per encounter. So there we go. We have that for the storm shifter. So we updated that definition of what free is. Give me 1 second. So update the definition of what free is. Free is free. In addition to that, so what I've been working on last week, and it's not entirely done, but it's done enough to work. I did make a new a web store for anybody who wants to pre-order. So the prices include shipping to U.S. So domestic shipping is free, and then or it's included in the price, and then the shipping to UK, EU, and Canada, and a few other places, I think include the customs and fees and VAT and whatever those countries have. So there's core rules for this, for version 2. And then if you click on 5e, you can learn about what that is. And then there's the core rules. And then you can pre-order the printed version. The printed version is getting updated, another print version, and you can get the PDF as well. I think I might include the previous version as well as the latest version because some people are asking for that. But yeah, you guys can do that now. So I've been working on that. Surprisingly difficult to do. BackerKit, as great as it is as a crowdfunding campaign platform, it was not like sending the PDFs to people when they ordered. And some people were getting them, some people were not. So I was getting a lot of DMs about people saying, "Hey, I didn't get my thing." Frustrating for people, and it takes up a lot of my time. So I had to get that fixed. I had to get that fixed because more people are getting it like every day, basically. So I got that sorted out. So that's what I've been working on this past week. And I had a meeting just this morning with GamesQuest about how they're doing a lot of fulfillment, all the international fulfillment. So I had a meeting with them this morning, and that's all going very smoothly. Okay, so let's go into what we did for the Storm Shifter. So a couple nights ago, we were cooking on Storm Shifter, had some really good ideas, and for the people who are wondering, I did go back and reread or finish reading the rest of the comments and stuff. So I'm definitely not ignoring that feedback. It's just like once I get one idea, like I start cooking, I gotta start doing things. Okay, so where are we with Storm Shifter? Let's go ahead and get into that. So Circle of Sky and Storm, the spell, excuse me, the spellcasting one is largely the same. We haven't really made any changes there. But for level 3, Circle of Fang and Claw, we now have Swift Shift. So same name, a little bit different. Whenever you roll initiative, you may beast shift or move for free. So beast shift or moving for free. So normally beast shifting costs a charge, a shape-shifting charge, and it costs an action. Moving just costs an action. So if you beast shift for free, it neither costs a charge nor does it cost an action. Okay, so you can do that for free, which is pretty sweet. So we don't need. So I was able to eliminate some of the language that says you can gain a beast shift charge. And if you don't use it, it's unspent at the end of combat. It goes away. So the streamlining of the language of what free means was able to. It helps with the classes as well. So win-win. So you can, whenever you roll initiative, you may beast shift or move. So if you're already a beast, you don't need to do it. But you can beast shift or move for free. While transformed, you may shift between different beast shift forms without spending a charge. However, beast shifting this way does not grant any additional temp HP. Okay, so a big thing about the different beast shift forms is it grants you temp HP. So it's not a huge amount of temp HP, but if you're able to do it for free, you can't. It sort of breaks the math of the game and turns into a really big bookkeeping problem if you're able to like get all these temp HP like every single round, basically. So you're able to shift between forms. Like when you're a beast, you can you have a tail, you have paws, you have whatever. Like you're able to shift between your different forms without spending a charge. However, if you do it that way, so you can still spend a charge and to regain the temp HP if you want to, but you can do it without spending a charge. And if you beast shift this way, you don't gain any additional temp HP. Okay, and also I reordered the order of the forms that you get. So at level 2, you get Fearsome Beast. At level 3, you get Beast of the Pack, and then I think it's level 5 you get Beast of Nightmare. So you go large, medium, tiny. And I think that order makes sense. It was medium, large, and tiny. And I did that because of some of the abilities that we get as well. So we get a Windborn Protector, reaction, spend 2 mana to shift into a Fearsome Beast, then you may interpose and defend for free. Reduce all damage you take this round by will, including triggering attack. So this is sort of like a quasi-casting wind barrier of wind. So as a reaction, you can spend 2 mana to, so if you're the wolf form, you can just shift into the bear, interpose, defend for free, just soak up a lot of damage. In addition to the gore ability, whenever you interpose, whenever you interpose, you can spend a mana to make an attack for free as well. So like you can sort of combo a lot of these things in a really interesting way. So you're a bear and you're a better bear. And then there's the Friend of Beast, which is still the same. I did tweak Unleash the Beast to be a little bit more interesting. So we did get some feedback that Unleash the Beast was a little bit boring. So it's like, just instead of rolling dice, you just hit. You just crit. So instead, it's once per encounter, you can turn a miss into a crit. So you're still rolling the dice, and there's this feels bad of like, oh, I missed. And then like, I'm going to Unleash the Beast. And instead of missing, like I crit. So we take this sort of like boring, like nothing happens thing and turning it into like a really cool thing. And not only that, but critting with your different beast shift forms does different cool things. So critting when you're a fearsome beast, that grants you additional temp HP, which is cool. Like you have additional temp HP on a big red button. And then critting while you're beast in the pack, it increases your increments, your die size. So it's a really cool way to like choose when you do this, I think. And then if you crit with when you're the Beast of Nightmares, you're rolling just a whole stack of d8s instead of d6s. So the critting on command is a pretty cool thing. So the Beast, the Fang Claw sort of has a lot of like abilities they can use like once in combat, and they get more of these abilities as they level up. Level 7, you also get Storm Wake. As an action, you can spend 3 mana to shift into a Beast of the Pack, then you teleport in a straight line up to 60 feet away, inerrantly dealing will d8 lightning damage to any creatures you choose within 5 feet of your path. So you move so fast as a Beast of the Pack. You're just like a bolt of lightning. So it's similar to Chain Lightning, but it's better because you can choose. It's better and worse. You can choose which creatures are struck. You can choose which creatures are struck. There's no dex saves, just making it faster and less fiddly to work with. And you can increase the lightning damage with your will as well. So it by default it'll deal less damage, but it's something. So it's this sort of tactical thing that you can do. Spin an action, lightning bolt, and just crack a bunch of people in your path. I think that's a pretty sweet ability. So it's similar to spellcasting. It has the flavor of spellcasting, but you are using your beast shift forms to do the thing. Then we have Master of Forms. Your shapeshift forms can have 2 chimeric forms at a time. So chimeric forms are like the little cool fiddly things, the flavorful little things that you can add to your forms. But you also get Venomous Gaze. So you can spend 2 mana to shift into a Beast of Nightmares. So at level 3, you get a cool little bonus to your bear form. Level 7, a cool little bonus to your wolf form, or whatever thing you end up calling it. And then level 11, you get a spooky little spider form thing. You can spend 2 mana to shift into a Beast of Nightmares, then entice a creature within 60 feet to move 10 times your will. So if your will is 2, they'll move 20 feet closer to you on a failed will save. And they'll, in addition, they're going to roll a disadvantage, and they have to repeat until they save or can move no further. If they end up in the same space as you, you can sting them once per encounter. Okay, so it's similar to Entice, but if you have like 5 will, you can just you can command them to just come 50 feet closer every time. If your will is 1, then you can command them to come 10 feet closer. So the higher your will, the fewer times, the more reliably you can get them to come directly to you all the way, and you're able to sting them as well, included in the action. So this is where we are right now. I think I need to work on the wording a little bit. So some of these wording is like having 4 lines of text for one ability is a bit much. Is there a funny typo? Where's the typo? Where is it? Where's the typo? There's no typo here. Question: does sting from this ability consume an additional action? No. So it's action. You can do this. So action, you do all this. If they end up in the same space, you sting them. Hamless. Where's Hamless? Where's Hamless? Oh. I think we need to keep that. Any animal but a pig. Oh, that was good. That was good. I was just going to say that one of the things that I've been working on today was going through the documents and fixing all the typos. But the Angela, who's helping me with editing, she made it up to Hunter, so we didn't make it to the Stormshifter yet. But yeah, we did fix a bunch of typos. Actually, not so many typos as like add a comma here. This is an m dash instead of n dash, that kind of thing. So other ideas that I want to think about if we integrate or not. So someone, I think it was Bruno, had the idea of like while you're in these forms, you can spend additional mana to like the fearsome beast. He can like shove creatures, or he can spend additional mana to deal additional damage and shove a creature, sort of like blustery gale or some of the wind spells. The beast of the pack can cast like zap, like deal additional lightning damage, but if you miss, then it deals the damage to you. Like that kind of stuff is really cool. My concern, so I really like that. If I can fit those things in without making it too complicated, I think I will. So those ideas are really cool, but I don't want to have like too many abilities on top of abilities on top of abilities. So that's my concern. So I think where we are here, we integrate spinning the mana like we're still a spellcaster with this cool with these cool beasts, but our beasts are doing the spellcasting. Like those kinds of things are really cool. And then we're able to do these things in a really unique, flavorful way, but it still is a callback to the other half of the class. So I want to be careful about adding too many fiddly bits to a class that already has a lot of fiddly bits. So out of all of the classes, the Stormshifter is definitely the fiddliest one. It's not as fiddly as it's not overly so, I don't think. But I do want to be careful about adding too many little things here and there that make it like a more difficult class to track or to play. Geekman Cave, hey, good to see you. Joshron, hey Josh. Unleash the Beast should have a capital B. It should, yeah. So all of this is very much like alpha. So these changes, I'm definitely going to make a second pass internally, and then I'm sending it to some people who are helping me with editing as well. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. Okay, so let's go to let's see if there's anything. Hey, how does Monk work in this system? Hey, GB. So Monk is called a Zephyr. So it is a pretty sweet class. They do so. A lot of the stuff is sort of familiar. We have like flurry of blows and stuff of the wind that does similar types of things. But it is sort of flavored with it is a wind flavored class. So they get to do a lot of really cool stuff. So I'm not going to get into all the stuff that the Zephyr can do, but they are a really cool martial artist that is super fast and super strong, weak to range things, but they have different cool ways to deal with that. So like level 5, you get reverberating strikes, and you can add bludgeoning damage to all of your melee hits equal to your level. So if your level is 5, you add 5 damage to every attack. And then they have swift fists. Your unarmed strikes are not subject to disadvantage imposed by rush attacks. So those are some of the cool, flavorful things that the Zephyr can do. All the doc makes reiterating make sense. Yep. Yeah. I did the tabletop trends podcast like months ago, and I forgot that I did that. I did that like before the campaign even ended. So like halfway through the campaign, they reached out to me. So I did that one a while back. Yeah, so they definitely played. So if you guys haven't seen it, you can check out. Let me give you guys the link there. That's not the link. Here's the link. So a couple cool guys did a review of it. So they did only playtest I think very low levels, where like the classes are much more simple. So like the rogue and the berserker, or the cheat and the berserker, they like sort of all they have to do is to like attack, and that's sort of how it is at low levels. And a lot of things that a lot of the criticism they had, I think, are fair. but those have already been dealt with, long since been dealt with. But a pretty good review, yeah. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, looks like they're doing some cool stuff. The Zephyr monk can do unarmed combat. Yep, you can transform into hameless beasts. If you're gonna have typos, might as well have like some good typos. Hameless beast. I won't even. Yeah. So it looks very interesting and much more in line with rapid shifting between bigger, better bears. Yeah, so like all of these abilities, Windborne Protector, Stormwake, Venomous Gaze, they're all once per encounter. So it's sort of incentivizing you to like, I want to be a wolf for a bit. I want to be owlbear for a bit. I want to be spoodly doodly thing for a bit. Like that's cool. Like you're doing different things. You're looking for opportunities to turn into the bear and to do the thing, right? You're looking for opportunities to like zap everybody you run past, that kind of stuff is really cool. And it's repositioning you so you can get into combat, and it's moving these ranged characters closer to you so you can attack them, and like repositioning the enemies. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff going on, I think. And it's spinning mana, which is pretty sweet. Bruno, hey Evan, I'm at lunchtime, going back to work. I just want to say thank you for being so brave. Yeah, Bruno, thanks for all the great ideas. I'm really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Loris, Unleash the Beast. Yep, Twin Steel, we're playing tomorrow, so we'll definitely get a chance. Yeah, go take a screenshot if you like. Nerf Phase Beast to avoid. Oh, yes, and I did tweak Phase Beast. Just tweaking the wording. Whenever you shift between this form and your normal form, you may teleport up to 30 feet away to a place you can see. So just tweak the wording. It's not a nerf so much as a clarification. So if you go from wolf to bear, you don't trigger Phase Beast. But if you go from wolf to person, then yeah, there you go. Or person to bear, then you get it. So whenever you shift between this form and your normal form, you can teleport. Yeah, thanks for that reminder. That has been taken care of already. Super fast, level 10 Zephyr in our party has 50. Yeah, they're super duper cool, and they can move for free and do different sweet things. I could tell it was old by your beard. Yeah, that's like 2 beards ago. Okay, so let's take a look at the document, El Documento. That's Spanish for the document. If you guys didn't know. Actually, I don't know if it's Spanish for document. Okay. Let's go to the top. Suggested gear. Yep, so that is still on the docket. Could more be added to the class breakdown page in the heroes and core rules? Things like complexity rating? Yeah, probably could. Let's think about that. Complexity rating. Let's say Berserker. Yeah, so you guys tell me what do you think the complexities are for all the different classes? Berserker. So which is the simplest class? Which is the simplest class? The cheat is pretty simple. The Berserker is fairly simple. Hunter is getting a look and has a little bit of things to do. So I'd say the Berserker is like maybe 1. The cheat is maybe let's look. What can the cheat do? The cheat doesn't really have any resources. They're just sort of getting in and getting out, right? The cheat is fairly straightforward. I don't know, like the cheat is the simplest, you think? Just gotta pay attention when you hit. Yeah. Like yeah, a lot of their stuff is like getting their one good hit and then like running away. Will there be additional subclasses in the future? Yeah. Most likely. No promises. I'm not allowed to promise anything, according to my wife. I can't promise anything until this one is all finished, and I have a little bit. She has a little bit of a break. What do you think about subclass switch around level 15, like visual? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, if your DM wants to do that, go for it. The cheat. So the cheat simplicity, it can be very simple, but also it could be a little bit more involved depending on It's really pretty simple. Simplicity is 1. Berserker simplicity maybe 2, because like you have to decide, you have to like remember when to roll your fury dice. You have this resource to contend with. The cheat then commander. It's maybe 2, because you got a few things. I haven't heard back from the artist who the Kidlit guy who was helping me helping me develop the Kid Nimble edition. I haven't heard back from him. I think he might be too busy, so that might not be the next project. I don't know. It's something I'd like to do, but it may not be the next project. I'd say wait until the classes are finalized, but I just want to throw the classes are pretty much there. So like there are not big changes happening anymore. I don't consider the changes to the storm shifter to be like particularly big changes. It's like just tweaking the flavor. Like we have the ability, we have the idea of like unleash the beast. Oh, this version wasn't fun. We'll tweak it. Casting the spells, like it didn't feel particularly like beasty, to just cast spells while you're beast shift. Okay, so like we cast, like we're making shifting easier. Like it's we changed a bunch of words, but like the concept and flavor and fantasy and direction is still exactly the same. Commander is probably 2. What's after the commander? Hunter? Hunter maybe 2. Mage, probably 3. Oathsworn, probably 2. Shadowmancer, 2, maybe 3, because they do have some minions to deal with. Maybe 2. Shepherd, at least 2. She does have a minion. Songweaver, 2, maybe 3. Yeah, probably 3 for the Songweaver. Storm Shifter, definitely 3 for the Storm Shifter. Zephyr, maybe 1. Maybe 1 for the Zephyr. So are these exactly correct? Probably not. I don't know that we need like a rating from 1 to 5. Like 1 to 3 is probably enough, or maybe even like 1 or 2. I think a Zephyr is roughly as complex as a cheat. Yeah. No Cheesemancer instead of Shadowmancer. You could definitely reflavor your shadows to be cheeses. Different. We have cheddar and Swiss. Social changes are received well when the only thing that I think is yeah. Yep. Yeah, Josh, got you. Oathbreaker got the least attention. I don't know if it's perfect as is or generally played or less played than others. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playtesting all of them much more in depth. So don't worry about that. But if anybody is so the feedback that we're getting is people who just happen to be playtesting them already. So it's not that the ones who have not gotten a lot of feedback aren't going to be playtested. They just haven't yet. Oathbreaker has been really good at table. Oh, that's cool. That's cool to know. I just meant that the suggestion could wait a bit to be thought about. Okay. Hit die. Class breakdown page. I don't think the hit die size is particularly important. Roll in combat. I think the roll in combat really depends on like the subclasses they pick. Key stats like these things probably don't matter a whole lot. Suggested backgrounds. Okay. Let me go back. So class breakdown pages of heroes and core rules. So this page is really just table of contents, like to get an idea. Like I don't like the guy who like I don't want to cast spells, so I might pick like these ones, right? I want to cast spells. I want to be mage. Oh, there it is, page 31. So like, and then I go to that page to learn more. So this is really just intended on being that. Now that said, the page breakdown here. This is really so. This one is really just like that same kind of thing. Like if you start with the core rules and you haven't looked at the heroes yet, like this just gives you a quick overview of like okay, what kind of characters I could play. Morning, Maia. I just talked with the other Maya, baby Maya, who has your name but different pronunciation. Overcast and gloomy over here in Denver. I love it, overcast and gloomy. I love it when it's raining. It's great nap weather. Not all the time though. I'd probably get tired of Seattle. Like my wife and I visited Seattle recently, and it was really cool. Okay, so I don't think we want to put unless this comment is talking about a different page than this, then please clarify. But I don't think we need hit die, suggest backgrounds. I think we will have a suggested weapons thing, and one thing that I did tweak is this. I separated hit die from starting hit point, so starting hit points was just in parentheses, but I just added it. It's its own thing. So I might add here like starting equipment or starting loadout or like suggested equipment, that kind of thing. I might add that. Classes they work well with. I think any class can work well with any other class. Like if there's a team of like 5 Zephyrs or like 5 cheats, like it's definitely going to play differently. But could they all work well together? Like yeah, that like 5 cheats that would like actually be pretty nasty. Lots of pocket sand, lots of duck in and out, lots of critical hits. So I don't think that stuff needs to be added, but I am working on suggested gear. Spellblade, clarification on Spellblade casting. So subclass says that you can that you get tiered spells, and you can use combat dice to fuel them, but it should be more clear on how the classes cast those spells. Do they cast once each? All right, let's read Spellblade. Your focus on Arcane causes you to lose access to weapon mastery and combat tactics. You still gain combat dice. Term of art. I'll just fix that before Angela needs to tell me to fix it. But spend them as mana to fuel your tiered spells. Whenever you could choose a combat tactic or weapon mastery, instead choose another commander's order, cantrip, or tier 1 spell from any spell school. You can also infuse your commander's orders with magical power. Okay, let's see what the question was. You get tiered spell. The subclass says you get tiered spells. And that you can use combat dice to fuel them, but it should be more clear how the classes cast those spells. Do they cast once each? Do they need to spend a combat die every time? So anytime you would spend 1 mana, so you cast a 1 mana spell, a tier 1 spell, it costs you 1 combat die. That's it. You cast a tier 4 spell, it costs 4 combat dice. That's it. Okay, so that's the idea, that's the intent. Let's reread it and see if that makes sense. You still gain combat dice, but spend them as mana to fuel your tiered spells. Should we say? Did you guys hear that? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna make sure everybody's okay. Good news, everybody. Everybody's okay. Will there be enough combat dice, though? Yeah, so spellcasting is not a main feature for the Spellblade. So you could have up to like 5 or 6, maybe 7 if you really push your int. So you can have like 6 mana every encounter. So every encounter you get 7 mana. Like say you max it out. So yeah, you could cast a tier 4 spell, cast and a tier 3 spell. So spellcasting is really intended on being like not the main feature. The main feature are like these things that the commanders, the commander's orders, that are all improved by default. And then you also have this additional utility, right? So if you want to go deep into that, you definitely could. Like having 7, probably the realistic maximum is probably like 5. But like having 5 mana every time you roll initiative, like that's not nothing. That's not nothing. And like doing something weird like the patron mana with like the Shadowmancer, I think would be way too much. It would be way too good. You'd be like just blasted. You'd be better than the mage. 5 cheats, yeah, it'd be nuts. No worries. The idea was just adding a bit more to help new players. Just from thought. Okay, yeah. Will there be enough comment dice? Yes, I think there would be plenty. I think there would be more than enough. I have had the miraculous experience of players who run from danger instead of fighting it mindlessly. So, Nimble has been a bit different experience. Could you clarify, Scriftcat? I don't know what that means. Maia, I've been meaning to ask about this. When I played as Nimble with D&D players, one player wanted to be able to help heal their party member as a shepherd, but they found they were not able to at level 1. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I remember that feedback. So let's go up to shepherd. Okay, so you get it at level 2. So you can heal at level 1. All right, so there was a big problem with, was it 3rd E or 4E? One of those E's, one of those editions, where healing was so good that basically like no progress was ever made. Like the healer was healing every single time anybody took damage and just always topping them up. And it turned into just a terrible slog, right? So healing can be fun, like saving someone from danger is fun, but like being the guy who's just always topping people up is not particularly fun. Like if you want to do that, you should be free to do that, but that shouldn't be like the quote unquote correct way to do things. So in Nimble, the design philosophy is progress must be made, right? I can play D&D by myself while I'm sleeping and make no progress. Like I just don't do anything. Like no progress is not the fun part, right? Making progress is the fun part. Even if and that means setbacks or like taking damage or dealing damage. So the idea of the shepherd is like we don't want them to just be a heal bot. We don't want them to be a hit point battery for other people necessarily. We want them to be able to do their cool things, and then when someone's life is in danger, then they can like bring them back, right? So that's the idea for the shepherd for like the quote unquote like devoted healer. So when someone is dying, they can heal a bunch of hit points, right? So even though they're healing damage, the person who dropped a 0, they still took 1 wound. They still lost a couple of actions, 1 or 2 actions possibly, right? So that is the idea with level 1. Like at level 1, you only have like 10 to 20 hit points. You don't really have that many hit points to begin with. So I don't want the healer to feel like they're handcuffed into like the correct action is always healing every time, and I never get to do the fun thing, right? For some people, healing is the fun thing, but you get more healing, like you get more bang for your buck if you wait until they're dying, right? Because progress has been made, like they're taking wounds, they're dropping a 0, and then you're saving their life as you come back. So that is the fantasy. If this was just heal a bunch of damage from anybody, then like that sort of obviates the heal spell. But if this is only a dying creature, then like okay, like it gives it its own niche, and it frees the shepherd up to do other cool things rather than just healing all the time. I hope that makes sense, but I did hear that feedback, and if she just waits just until the next section, she definitely would be level 2, and she can heal to her heart's desire up until she spends all of her mana. And her life binding spirit can heal. She has the heal spell, and she can also use her searing light thing. So having like really strong abilities with certain triggers or certain conditions that need to be met is really cool. If this was you can deal damage or heal anything regardless of whether they're dying or bloodied, then the balance needs to be pulled back substantially. And then honestly, the ability is just sort of pointless. It would be redundant. It was just because they were level 1, yes, indeed. And level 1 is intended to last like 1 hour. It's like the first. So level 1 is so just to be clear, level 1 is intended to teach the 3-action economy in defending. Like this is how you move, this is how you attack. You roll your d6, and this is how you attack. And this is what happens when you drop to 0 hit points, and this is what happens. So it's intended to teach the mechanics of the game. And this is how you interpose, that kind of stuff. So it's really just like everybody just gets a small flavor of the class without being too overwhelming. Everybody gets a small flavor of the class and a flavor of the game. Level 1 is tutorial. And then level 2 is when you start going in different directions. You get deeper into the game, right? So the tutorial level on like Super Mario Odyssey, and like it's not that fun of a level, but it's perfect for what it's intended to be. It's intended like, all right, this is how you move the camera around, this is how you throw your little hat, buddy, and that kind of stuff, right? So that is what level 1 is supposed to be. Level 2 is when you're more fully fledged, and level 3 is when the customization really starts. And in oppose, yeah, love and oppose. Yeah, so that is just because they were level 1, and it's really only intended to be just like maybe an hour of actual game time. And even in the GM guide, in the included adventure, it even says, where is it? Skill checks, like this is how a skill check works. Resting, this is how a short rest works. They can spend their hit die to rest. Roll initiative to roll initiative. This is how you roll it. So like the instructions like in the level 1 adventure is like for the GM as well as for the players. And how you attack. Each player gets all 3 actions back. Whoever's ready first can go first, and then so like all of that is like built into the game. And I did do some reformatting here as well. So this art didn't really fit the adventure, so I did move this to this own page, and we have I still need to do some formatting. So this is like, hey, adventure on, and we can do all this sort of stuff. And then the first adventure is here. The second adventure is 2 spreads. And then the third adventure is like 2.5 spreads, and I'm still working on tweaking that. But yeah, I've been able to save a good bit of space with that just by fixing the layout and how things work. Oh, and I did doodle up a new map for this. So we have like the entrance, the mural chamber. I don't know, is everybody else getting like a million texts about the election? I'm looking forward to Wednesday. Mural chamber, then the Blade Hall, Tomb of Honors, and the secret entrance, or you can go to the Venus flytrap room, and then here, and then there we go. Okay, so there we go. Endless text. One level, the one equals roughly. So there is advice in the GM's guide that says like each successive level does take longer. The first level 1, like you'll do your session 0, you'll make your characters, and you'll play for like an hour or 2, right? So that's level 1. The next time you get together, your character's already made. You pretty well know how to play, so you'll play for like 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours, and then you level up to level 3 at the end of the second session. Level 3 like probably takes 2 sessions. Level 4 might take like 2 or 2.5. So like each successive level generally takes a little bit longer. But you like that statue? That's a great statue. But different GMs really have different preferences on leveling up. Some people like we've been playing for 16 years and we're still level 2. Like so, it's really up to Wizards ovaries. What? Quarters. Wizards quarters. It is a little difficult because a lot of adventures are not maybe the same idea. Yes, so different. You can certainly do whatever you want. If some GMs wanted to, some GMs want to do different, you definitely could. Leveling from 1 to 2 takes a firm handshake and a stern talking to. Yeah, that's sort of the joke. Level 1 is like a stern conversation. Okay, so let's go back to El Documento. So I think we clarified that. So upcasting, you can still only upcast equal to the tier of spells that you have unlocked. So level 7, you unlock. You can up to 2, up to 3, up to tier. So there it is. So level 3, you have access to tier 1. Level 7, access to tier 2. So I hope that clarifies that. Number of combat dice is semi-static and only increases with yes. The combat dice size increases with a level. I mean, yeah, that is a good point. But also, like the cantrips, cantrips do increase. So, so I don't know that we need to increase that. So combat die size should increase your mana amount. Maybe roll for it. No, I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. The road die. This is my static increasement. So like 3 to 7 mana is about where per encounter is about where the Spellblade should be. Like more than that, and I think they're doing too much. Because most of their like cool spelly things comes from like these and not these. Like these are just cool utility things, cool, like a little bonus. The combat dice size increase a level. I think missing that feature is fine because like the cantrips do go up and you can upcast spells further. So I think that's okay. I'm gonna call this one. I'm gonna call that one checked off. Oh, and I did with Hunter. I did make one adjustment. Let me guys show you that since we're talking about Hunter. This one, let's finish this, has been updated. Whenever you have no Thrill Hunt charges, gain Hunter's Resolve until the end of your turn. Treat all of your melee attacks as if your targets are marked. So I cleaned up the language and I got a name for it. So Hunter's Resolve. So it is this sort of like quasi condition because like if you start your turn with one charge and then you spend it, then you have Hunter's Resolve now. So previously it was like if you start your turn without any charges, this and this and this, so that was less good. So now it is if you start your turn with one, you can spend it, and then you can start smacking creatures and stuff. Okay, Primal Stalker's Ambusher, level 3, casting Hunter's Marker Song. Yeah. When you roll initiative, you may use Hunter's Mark for free. Ooh, apply? You may apply Hunter's Mark for free. I think use is fine. That's an easy one to check off. I want more like that. Beastmaster. How much damage does companion do? It's not clear how much damage your companion does. Is it always when you focus level, or is it only for the ability? Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, Beastmaster. Whenever you defend, Mark you. Okay. Okay, so good question. So the answer is there. It's just unclear. So I think this is something that we do need to this is something that we need to clarify. How's the progress with the overall adventure? All levels finished. So I think yeah, all 3 levels of the first part of the adventure are finished, and I've gone all but 1 or 2 of the adventures back, and I'm like laying out 3 of the adventures that are still going to be going in there. So laying out a bunch, and then Taryn, who's working on one, got sick for like a week, so he's a little bit behind. And then JP Couvert, who he just finished his crowdfunder campaign, his Kickstarter campaign. So he's been busy too. So hopefully this week I'll get those 2 adventures back. Factorial level up? I don't, not factorial, maybe like exponential or semi-exponential, logarithmic, I don't know. Okay, so the beast is flavor. Okay, so go for the throat. With a small companion, you and your companion attack your quarry for free. So the effect of that is you're able to ignore the creature's armor. So like whether the ferret like climbs up in their shirt and like bites them and like distracts them enough so you're able to like attack them easily and ignore their armor. So the ferret doesn't, or the hawk or raccoon or whatever, like going for the eyes, like they're not dealing additional damage. They are enabling you to ignore the target's armor. So that is what this does. So I'm explaining the intent, and then once you guys know the intent, then we can sort of figure out the flavor for it. So go for the throat for the medium companion. So protect me. Whenever you defend, your companion may first attack that creature 1d4 plus level damage. Okay, so for this ability with a medium companion, you roll that much damage. Go for the you and your companion attack your core, tripling your hunter's mark damage in ignoring armor. So that effect is what this ability does. So the companion allows you to ignore the armor and deal additional hunter's mark damage. For large companion, that companion's damage is what this text says. So that is the intent. That is the intent. I don't know, Bruno, CR19 creature with 22,000. Yeah, please. Yeah, no XP, no XP. um, yeah, so generally, level 1 is like a half a session, level 2 is 1 session, level 3 is like 2 sessions, and it's like maybe like the next level is like 2 or 3, and then 2 or 3, and then maybe 3, and then maybe 3 or 4, and then maybe like 3 or 4, 4 or 5, 5 or 6. So it goes up just like a little bit at a time. I could make a spreadsheet if you guys want. I think that's clear enough. What if we do this? So if we remove that out of the parentheses, whenever you or companion create a core, your companion attacks again. For 24 plus low damage. Yeah, so it does specify what each of these things do. So I don't know that any additional clarification is needed. If you're running an adventure that features longer times between the early levels up, do you have any advice on how to keep players' interest since that's a while? The more basic character. I wouldn't. I wouldn't keep them at level 1 for too long. Is what my advice is. Like if you just want to start at level 2 or 3, like you can start at any level you want. But level 1 is very much a tutorial level. But I mean, keeping their interest is largely up to the GM and largely up to the adventure. Like there's a lot of role playing. Like some of my, yeah. I don't know of any published adventure, at least official like first party adventure, that has level 1 last more than one session, more than the first session. I think every published adventure I've ever seen says like after the first thing they level up, basically. Yeah. Design it as if we all have control over how long these adventures take to level up. So it's just guidance. If you want to do anything different, you definitely could. It's like I'd hate to play any 5e class at level 1 for more than one session. So just level up whenever is appropriate. Okay, let's keep going. I think this is okay. Where I think this is okay. So beasts don't attack someone outside of combat or on its own or whatever. But if you did want to do something like narratively, like you can use the text there as guidance. Cast table entry 4 Aetherlings. The number of summoned Aetherlings is ambiguous and or it may have a typo. That very well may be the case. Not sure which adventures you looked at. They're very commonly at level 1 for more than one session. I've never seen it. A lot of adventures have fairly heavy encounters at level 1. Jumping to level 2 early probably wouldn't matter much. I'm amazed that the things in D&D. I'm amazed that that's the thing in D&D. I haven't played it in years. Yeah. Entry 4. Summon Aetherlings. At the end of each of your turns, summon int Aetherlings. Summon int Aetherling minions adjacent to you that act immediately after you. Size is the size. I've been doing this. Size is D6. Some int. Hostile Aetherling minions adjacent to you. There you go. I think that clarifies it. So whatever your int is, if your int is 5, you summon 5 hostile Aetherling minions adjacent to you that act immediately after you. And their die size, D6. Morning, Angela. Hey, I just went through your all of your comments and stuff. Some great comments in the heroes. So if you have any more for me, I'm ready. So do as much as you want. And Angela's been helping me with that. She's been doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job. I think we got that. Stand fast, friends. Oh yeah. So let's do a search of CHA. Replace it with will. Find next. That just Aetherling's cool. I don't remember the name, but one of the backgrounds still says is it a will? Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at both of those. So we'll just search all documents now, and we'll do a find next. Yes, we'll leave that. Strength plus charisma. We'll change that. Change that. We'll undo that. Find next. Chaos. Gotcha. So this is why we don't do change all. +1 charisma. Yeah, change that. +1 will. Was it will or was it int? Go back. My previous. Hey, just remind me. Remind me, you guys. I can't go back. No, what I meant to say was character creation, chaos table. Okay, that so we there's no more charisma anywhere. And let's actually do the same for whiz. Find next. Find next. Oh, okay. So we fixed. So that is fixed. Let's go back to the core rules here. So this should be. They use int now, I believe. There we go. Change that. Didn't mean to change it. All right. Let's double check that it is correct here. Change one thing. Change a bunch of things. What was that show? Save the girl, save the world. Save the cheerleader, save the world. Change one thing, you change a lot of things. We'll do 12 plus 6. Okay, that is good. Heroes. Man, it's been a while since I've watched that. Will this be 1.95? Yeah, we can't say 2.0. So yeah, we'll do 1.9.1 or whatever. Nicholas, I don't remember. Yep, so we got that. You got it. Hooray, hooray. No. Yep, yeah, we got that. Such a good show. That show. Yeah. A lot of shows, a lot of artists, a lot of things should just quit while they're ahead. Eldritch Usurper. Does it mean? I don't know what it means. Let's take a look. Usurper. Find next. Cannot find. Cannot find. Where is Eldritch Usurper? Oh, there it is. So let's read it. Increase any 2 stats by 1. You may summon 2 shadow minions at a time. Gotcha. Yep. So that could be clarified. Whenever you summon a shadow minion, summon 2 instead. Anywhere within 30 feet. They die only when they receive 12 or more damage at one time. Oh, that's beefy. And I'm going to say, whenever you summon a single shadow minion, summon 2 instead. Because there is greater shadow, and the intent there is not for you to summon like 10 shadow minions at a time, because they're going to be quite beefy. So whenever you summon a single shadow minion, whenever you would summon a single... Angela, do we need a would here? Whenever you would summon a single shadow minion, summon 2 instead. Or is it fine whenever you summon a single shadow minion, summon 2 instead? You guys let me know. Good with wood. Season 2 onward or such a letdown. I don't remember all of the details, but man, it was a cool show. It's been a long. I can't endorse it. There's probably some things in there that's not good, but I saw it a long time ago. It was pretty cool. Same with what was that other one where they're on the island? Everybody's on the island. That was a cool show. Lost, yeah. That was a good show. That show got worse and worse and worse though. Oh, Rider Strike, okay. Right, wood. Angela, where are you at, Angela? Help me out. Okay. Lost apparently had aged pretty well, though no. Yeah. Okay, so I think we have fixed that. Hooray! Summon Shadows Confusion, both hero and core book. Summon a Summon a D12 Shadow Minion. Might be interpreted as summon how many Shadow Minions? Proposed solution. Summon Shadows. Okay, let's take a look at the Summon Shadows text. Okay. Summon A. So so the reason why it's A instead of 1, is because if we say summon 1 D12 Shadow Minion, then what someone is going to do, they're going to take their die. I summon 3 Shadow Minions, right? So it does need to say a D12 Shadow Minion. So maybe we could say summon a Shadow Minion adjacent to yourself. And then we can say so down here, we can move their attack information. Once per turn, you may command all of your minions to move up to 30 feet and attack an adjacent target. D12. 1 D12 each. Yeah. There we go. I think that fixes it. Lost Barely had age well. Are you familiar with the show Pirates of Darkwater? Nope. Could Shadow Minion be capitalized or italicized to indicate its special vocabulary? You do want to be careful about capitalizing too many things. Because I do have a tendency to over-capitalize. I'm going to leave that to Angela. So like the ability, so like 5e is weird. So like whenever you're talking about like taking like the attack action, attack is capitalized. But if you're just saying attack, attack is not capitalized. So like words are weird. Hey, Santurek. So words are definitely weird. I'm going to leave that to the editors to tell me where to put commas and capitalize things. So I'm not strictly following the 5e habits or customs, but I want it to make sense without being annoying. Okay, so I think we fixed that. So let's go to the heroes book and make the same change. Oh, we're already there. Summon a Shadow Minion adjacent to yourself. One equal damage each. There we go. We fixed it. Clarity reigns. Bone Scythe. Should it use int or dex instead of will? Yes, it should. Let's go there. Heroes beta. Let's go over here. Where did There we go. Stream's going great. Stream is going fantastic. Bone Scythe. Let's go to Bone Scythe. Bone Scythe. Isn't that such a cool name? Hollow One. Oh man, like I've forgotten like what cool names, like how cool these names that we've come up with are. Hollow One. I'm geeking out about the names. Martyr Spawn, Grim Harrow. Oh, my blood, my power. I'm the patron now. I love these names so much. It is kind of like watching like one of your favorite shows like over again after like 5 years. You forgot everything that happened and like enjoying it over again, even though you knew at one point what it said. Okay, so let's think. So we want the Shadow Reaver, the Shadowmancer, to have a reason to go into Dex and Int. Okay, so let's look at what the Shadowmancer uses Dex and Int for. I'm the patron, and it's like such a meme, but like, look at me, I'm the captain now. Like it's based off of that meme. Um, great name, great name. I don't know. Have we considered calling it the Shadow Reaver? It's a good name. My favorite part is watching Evan rediscover things he already made. Like I honestly just forget. I have like every version of Nimble like in my head at the same time still. So like I don't like I don't know the state of current things frequently. That's probably the same for like DMs who have played like every version of D&D. Like who even knows what a strength save is. Okay, so Shadowmancers, they use int for their shadows, the number of shadows. They use int for their mana. They use dex for their armor, their initiative, and like their sneakiness. Do they use int or dex for anything else? I think that's it. Let's see. Oh, Shadow Blast. Shadow Blast. So Shadowmancers don't use their dex for anything special. Am I right? EMM, have you changed the summon shadows in the core rules? I did. Yeah, we just changed it. Games should have fun with rules. Yeah, it's a game. It's a game, guys. So I don't think Shadowmancers use dex for anything other than armor and initiative, which is like it's not nothing. That's pretty good. Okay. I think the Shadow Reaver should use Dex then for their thing because it's like that makes sense. It's sort of like a stabby deal. There we go. Fixed it. Where is it? Fixed it. Otherworldly Might. Advantage of concentration checks instead of disadvantage. Wipe at least one shadow minion. What makes having minions cause you to have disadvantage on concentration checks? So minions don't cause you to have disadvantage on concentration checks. Being a Shadowmancer. Oh no. It used to be strength. Now it's will. Ah, okay. So yeah, we can clean that up. So previously the Shadowmancer had strength as its disadvantage save. It isn't any longer, and we shall update. We should definitely update. Look at that. We're cutting words and making it better. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Songweaver is perfect, everybody. What happens to items while beast shifting? I think we dealt with that. Whatever you want. The intent is that like so statistically your stats don't change, your speed doesn't change, your armor doesn't change, like that kind of stuff. So like you still have all of your equipment. So the intent is that it sort of melds into your body. Do we need to say that? I don't think so. Like if someone wanted to reflavor that a different way, like, yeah, like go ahead and let them. Uh-oh, things are moving. Is that you, Edward? Phase Beast. I thought we did fix that. Does Swift Shift let you transform from a harmless beast to other types? If so, Beast Shift will always be free. That must be a new one. That must be a new one. Yep. Yeah, and the Reaver's going to want more decks anyway. Getting ready for work? Edward, what time zone are you in that you're getting ready for work at lunchtime? Emma is everywhere. Someone is everywhere. Okay, so the intent is not to let. So the intent is not to let. It doesn't make fantasy sense. Like, all right, so first I'm gonna transform into a squirrel, and then I'm gonna transform into bear to make bear cheaper. Oh, PSD. Okay. So the intent is not that. While transformed, you may shift between different beast shift forms. And like, so like this would be. So the harmless beasts and the combat beasts are like two different categories of things. So the intent is not to allow you to swift shift between like squirrels and bears easily. So how do we word that without like rewording a bunch of things? 1812, man, my clock doesn't even get that high. My clock only goes to 12 and then starts over. Beast form. So how do we beast form? Okay, yeah, we instead of just a beast form, beast shift forms. So level 1, it is called beast shift. You can transform into a harmless land creature. Okay. No, I know. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, Citric. It's also that military time uses that 6 p.m. Wow. Okay. So like transforming could just be called beast shift, and then this could be called combat beast shift or something. So like technical writing is quite challenging for this. Like you know what you want, you know what the intent is, but you don't know how to communicate that. Combat forms, yeah. You learn the fearsome beast combat form. is that too cool? You learn the fearsome beast combat form, and we could say combat forms here. Is that too metal? Or is that too stupid? Yeah. We call it harmless forms instead of calling out combat forms. Yeah, I don't love combat forms, but how would I call out harmless forms? Since you mention the combat forms more often, you'll be adding more text. Yeah. Go back to the thing, a little texture. Whenever you roll initiative, you may beast shift or move for free. While transformed, you may shift between different combat forms without spending a charge. And that makes sense. Maybe instead of like We're gonna do something like kind of dumb, like different forms of the same type. But then like the clarity, like oh, what is the same type? Like same type of squirrel? Like it could be like an eastern gray squirrel or an Asian red squirrel or whatever. Like while transformed into a non-harmless beast shift form, like yeah, it gets a little bit weird. You may shift between different combat. And I don't think we're gonna capitalize on different combat points. Yeah, I think that's fine. If we can, so be on the lookout, put it out. This is better in that it gets my intent across, but I don't love it. So if you guys have any ideas there, I'd love it if you guys could actively cook on that. I'd love it if you guys could actively cook on that. You learn the Beast of the Pack combat form. You learn the Beast of Nightmares combat form. It's a little bit weird. Could be aggressive or non-aggressive? Yeah, I don't know. Like squirrels can be aggressive. We can ask Discord and come back to it. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Be shifting this way, you cannot transform. Yeah, that's a little bit kludgy. So there's harmless creatures, and then there's combat forms. I think that's that. I mean, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe it's fine the way it is. So we do fix. So we fix the silly loophole. Zephyr, and I think for the Zephyr, we were actually like I was like halfway through. I was halfway through. Like renaming, reflavoring some of the things since we moved from Dex and Wisdom to Dex and Strength. So we have like Iron Defense, which is pretty sweet. Rather than like whatever was like Patient Defense. I think Iron Defense sounds cooler. Oh, Twin Steel got it? What does that mean? Harmless versus harmful. Harmful? I don't know. Dire Beast forms. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Kev whatever. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Guys, I've already moved on. Dire Beast. Dire Beats form. Okay, so maybe that, and then what will we say here? You learn the Fearsome Beast form, Dire Beast form. Okay, Twin Steel, okay. Did we address the Harmless Beast plus Phase Beast? Yes, we did. Twin Steel, feast your eyes upon this. Whenever you shift between this form and your normal form, you may teleport up to 30 feet away to a place you can see. So it's only when you go in or out of shapeshifting, not between different forms. I don't know. Do we like Dire Beast forms better? It's kind of cool. It's better than combat forms. Yeah, we could just say, you learn the Fearsome Beast form. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Anything that can cut words is an improvement. Dire Beast forms. You may shift between different Dire Beast forms without spending a charge. There we go. We fixed it. You all already call it Savage Transformation? That is a cool name, do we? We should probably just call this Dire Beast Forms. Savage Transformation is a cool name. I might keep that and use that somewhere else. Cut. We could call it Mr. Beast Forms, and he can give away lots of money. Give away all of your gold pieces when you turn into this one. Savage Transformation is a cool one. That is a cool name. You can this is better. You can beast shift into a fearsome beast. Copy. Last goblin to touch this Lamborghini gets to keep it. Now we're cooking, you guys. Dire Beast form 2. Wasn't Mr. Beast like getting into a lot of trouble recently? Not to bring up drama and stuff, but is he still a good guy, or is he bad guy now? You guys tell me. Good guy Beast, bad guy Beast. We might not want to hitch our wagon to that guy if he's in trouble. We'll have to call it Senor Beast. It gives away pesos. Legally distinct. Legally distinct beast person. Legally distinct beast to giveaway person. He's under investigation by the FBI. Oof. All right. Well, his internal investigation found no severe infractions. Oh, hey guys, good news. I investigated myself, and I didn't do anything wrong. That's how much internal investigations are worth. Yeah. All right. I don't mean to get us into a side tangent. Okay. So do we fix everything? So we have Dire Beast form, Dire Beast form, Dire Beast form 2, and Dire Beast form 3. Okay. So we fixed that. Those are cool. Archdruid is such a cool name. Dire Beast forms. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and they're in order. Look at that. And we have perfect. I think we fixed it. Evan reacts. I'm a drama YouTuber now. I don't think so. Lunchly? I don't know what Lunchly is. Is that like Lunchables? Evan roasts your TTRPG. I won't roast any TTRPG. I only good vibes. I will say I like it or don't like it, or for me, not for me. But I won't roast any TTRPG. If you can switch into harmless form, yeah, you can already switch into harmless form for free. Oh yeah. So let's just say chimeric forms. Whenever you shapeshift, whenever you so you can't add chimeric forms to the harmless creatures. So whenever you okay, whenever you shapeshift into a dire beast form, you may modify it with a chimeric form. You know, is that better? Can you phase beast your harmless? Oh, yeah, that fixes it. But does it mean you can never have a flying harmless creature? You can have a bird, a blue jay. For free is ambiguous. Hey, Chud. Chud. Good to see you. So, Chud, that is where we started this morning. We did clarify what for free means. For free is some abilities are free and do not cost an action or any other resource to or other resource. We'll just say we don't need to say to perform. And we need to add a period. There we go. So there you go. So free is a term of art, and it is in the glossary. Free does not cost an action or any other resource. There we go. Unless otherwise stated. Hey, Chud. That is such a cool name. Like there's something about cool names that just really gets me. And Chud is one of those. I don't know if it's like an abbreviation or if it's a word for something, but like, just it's a word you want to say. Chimeric form was to let you fly in harmless form before you just wanted to remove land creature. Chimeric form was what let you fly in harmless form before, unless you just want to remove the land creature. Yeah, that's probably fine. Like, yeah, let's let them fly. Let's let them fly. You can transform into a harmless creature. Cow, squirrel, mouse, etc. We probably don't need to say squirrel, mouse. We could say pigeon. Pigeons aren't real, though. Let them fly. But if you're flying and you take damage, any damage ends that shapeshift form. And you go and transform into a government spy robot. Yeah, that's why they stand on the the power lines. They recharge. Do it for Bob. That was for that was for the hunter, the Beastmaster hunter. Might be an idea to change chimeric form to something like chimeric boon. Yeah. We don't want to be saying form too much. Chimeric beast. Boons. Boon is fine too. Chimeric. Oh, excuse me, guys. Choose 2 chimeric boons. Whenever you shapeshift into a dire beast from, you may modify it with 1 chimeric boon you know. Chimeric boon. Beast of the sea, climber, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, that's good. Chimeric augmentation. Yeah, that is too sci-fi. I don't want to work. A marker for watching later. Yep, we are 1 hour and 28 minutes in. What did I miss in the last stream? Last stream got cut short just a little bit. Oh, Chud, nickname due to bad movie when I was in high school. Cannibalistic human underground dweller. Oh, that's so funny. Evan does go back and watch the last stream when Chud is mentioned. Yeah, I always go, hey Chud. I love that name. And Chud's a cool dude too. If that is his real picture, he's got a sweet beard. A sweet beard. Chud's a good guy. I mean, I don't know you, Chud. I hope you're a good guy. Are there more chimeric forms? Line, yeah. Chimeric boon. Chimeric boon. Chimeric boon. Don't squander my endorsement, Chud. What was it? Cannibalistic? You want an underground dweller? All right. Chimeric boon, and then we have something here, Master of Forms. Save that. Let's do chimeric form. Let's just do a quick search. Cannot find match. Right, so we fixed it. Gotta go. Thanks, thanks, Necrotic Tomb. Yep, appreciate you. Boon is a game term for a different thing, though. I think it's this is like a specific kind of boon. I think it's okay. The first chimeric boon feat says it boons, while the rest are singular. Can't have that. Where's it? Chimeric boon. Fixed it. You go way back and just say phase BC just once per round. I think the update that we have fixes it. If you guys disagree, let me know. Level 13 features should be Iron Defense. Let's take a look. Let's go to Zephyr. There is a flying one. Paul, winged. Chimeric boons for climbing and swimming. Should there be a flying boon? There is one. Winged right here. So plus 10 speed and can fly. Level 13. Unarmored defense. Yes. Iron defense 2. Should it be 2x dex plus strength? Let's just say your armor is doubled while unarmored. There you go. That's a little bit easier. We won't have to worry about PIMDOS or anything. Let's say twin, that's probably the best fix. Twin, these ones per round. I did like that they had to get level 5, 6. Yeah, I don't know. So we did add this this thing where if they take damage while in a harmless form, they shapeshift out. So if they are flying, like in combat or abusing something, like the GM can just like cause them to take damage, and then 2x dex plus strength makes more sense. Gustavo, hey Gustavo. Yeah, but some people can't do that. I'm sure you guys, some people can't math. Just double it is fine. It's like whatever it normally is, dex plus strength. 5. Now it's 10. You have 7. Now it's 14. Right. I think that's okay. But if you guys want to weigh in on it, if everybody super disagrees, then we'll clarify. Level 15, not finished yet. Should it be infuse strength, not infuse life? Ooh, that's a good idea. Level 15. Level 15? Should that be level 5? What? Oh, level 4. What? Level 15, not finished. Oh, not finished yet. Where is that? Where is it? Where are you? I do have one of those stream decks that has like all the buttons on it, and I know some guy who like does streams, and he'll push buttons to like put like as a soundboard. Where are you? Where is not finished yet? Finished. Find next. Find next. Search is complete. Can anybody help me with this? Infuse life. Find next. Cannot find match. Maybe it's been fixed already? I don't know. Okay. I think it's fixed. First subclass. Oh, okay. There it is. I don't know why it didn't come up. Okay. Like why did that not come? Oh, because all right, because I have capitalization on. Find next. Ooh, okay. Yep. So there it is. User error. User error. Sorry, guys. Um, fixed it. Thank you. Thank you. M. Core rules. How to be good players. Free space Nirvana. How to be a good player. Suggestion. Okay, so we're done with heroes, guys. Heroes is complete. Asterisk. Let's go to core rules. I will be right back. I've got to use the bathroom. Watch this. Your game nights are too precious to waste with slow, tedious rules. Nimble 5e is a fast, tactical, and 5e compatible RPG that eliminates the slog, all too common at our game sessions. No more waiting 15 minutes for your turn just to miss your attack. No, not here. Attacks are fast and heroic. No more fiddly back and forth just to see if you even hit. The overhauled combat system keeps things quick yet deeply strategic. And with exploding critical hits, you can retain the chaotic excitement of battle. Tactics and teamwork are greatly improved with new heroic reactions. Actively defend and bravely interpose for your allies. And with instant initiative, you can get right into combat without breaking up the flow of the story. Nimble enables more player agency with a flexible action economy and deep yet simple weapon, skill, and magic systems. A character sheet that looks less like a tax form and less intimidating to new players. It's more focused, reducing bookkeeping and making each remaining option matter far more. There are 11 fresh but familiar new classes that beautifully take advantage of the updated rules, each with its own unique and super flavorful playstyle. New spells that encourage creativity and allow for discovering cool setups and combos that are satisfying to pull off. And items as the GM that you can't wait to hand out. Items that will help move the story forward or get your party into or out of trouble as you see fit. A new legendary monster system that makes them actually easy to run at a glance, balanced even across widely differing party sizes. The tide of battle will shift in interesting ways, making for even more memorable nail-biting moments. The best part, this is all 5e compatible. Bring your favorite D&D adventure modules, your favorite third-party monster books, and easily run them with a Nimble system. Have more fun playing epic stories with affordable... Perfect timing. That is so much louder, sorry. Let me see. Your game nights are too precious to waste with slow, tedious... Okay, sorry. Thanks for the information, Kev. I appreciate it. Yeah, my mic volume is actually just a little bit low. Let me. There we go, test. There we go. Mic volume a little bit better. Okay. This system sounds so cool. Is there a Kickstarter anywhere I can back? Yeah. Kev, whatever. I'd love to see B Shift 234 where you can do forms with a flying. Okay, so I think we already have that. Level of flight is OP. Not really. Not really. I think it's okay. There's enough limitations. Like you can always just be like an Aarakocra in 5e or whatever. I know some GMs will restrict it, but like this is like the cool thing that the druid does, you know. So I think it's probably okay. Kickstarter, yeah, more like backer kit. Added so much louder. I never had a problem with flight early game, but I get the request. Yeah, I think it's probably okay. But if Josh says he's never had a problem, he knows what's going on. I do think just altering phase shift is the answer since gaining flying mundane forms. I think it's okay for now, but I'll keep an eye on it. If you guys definitely feel, if you guys feel strongly the other way, then I'm certainly open to it. The art/text blend is making me go insane since the earliest versions, but free to skip. The text blend, do you mean like the gradient here? Emma? Do you mean the gradient? Like that? Like how it's sort of like, it has this weird outline? I think that might just be an artifact of InDesign. because it is truly just like a smooth gradient or fairly smooth gradient. I mean, I could like multiply. That doesn't look any better. Yes, the overflowing text into the art. Oh, there, yeah. I think that's okay. I mean, that's basically how the entire first book was. Ooh, I did learn a new tool that I could play with here. What if we did that? Ooh, the other way. What if we did that? We could do something like that. There we go. It's a little bit better. Goal: removing unnecessary text to condense the section. Yes. Removing unnecessary text. Maybe. Okay. Be creative. Removed. Okay. Okay. Be creative. What if we removed this? Be creative. There we go. Oh, we're following the advice, but backwards. Okay, got that. Describe actions. Removed the perception check example. Why this thing? All right, so 3 examples, different tones of mechanics. Covers many situations. Describe your actions. Removed the perception check example. Describe your actions. Fair. I had both to sort of show the difference, and this was me fiddling with. You guys, can you guys see this this spreadsheet here? This was me fiddling with different hit point values for the bear, but I think it's okay. I was just seeing if we could tweak it easily. And I was toying with not including any temp HP. And like only armor or no extra armor and only temp HP, I think it's okay where it is. Okay, remove. So I had perception check and examination check to sort of show the difference between the two, but I guess it's fine. It already says it does have their examples, different tones of mechanics. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Fine. Okay. Moved. Respect everyone else's time to the next column. All right. We'll let the columns reorganize themselves on their own. Okay, share the spotlight, change Ragnar's example to Ragnar, would you like to have a word with the stubborn gentleman while the rest of us aside? Okay, let's copy that and let's see what it says. Yeah, and also all of this text is alpha, so nobody else has really read it or anything like that, or given feedback on it. A charismatic hero might be taking the lead in negotiating. That's fine, but he may want to call his berserker pal for a bit of extra leverage. Let's see how that reads. Right, would you like to have a word with this stubborn gentleman while the rest of us step outside? Yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's fine. Balance the columns. No, we don't want to do that. There we go. Let's go back here. Treat the one's concern. Doesn't explain what an NPC is. Okay, let's read that section. Treat monsters and NPCs. Let's just say treat the world. Treat the world as real. Treat the world Treat the world realistically. I like those examples a little bit. It is for new players also, so to keep that in mind. If you heal or deal a lot of damage, because it depends on the time. Why this section shows consequences on bad behaviors, haggling with every merchant, doing foolish things. It feels like you're saying, not necessarily. You know, I mean, perhaps. I'll think about this. So all these other changes were great. This one, I'm going to think about a little bit. And maybe have different examples, like maybe Josh knows, or some of the other, Mai, if she's still here. Like maybe you guys know, like, or anybody who DMs frequently. Like, what are some of the annoying behaviors that people do when they're not treating the world as real? Like they're haggling with everybody, they're trying to pick everybody's pocket, you know, that kind of thing. To solve infiltration, make transformation require the following verbal component. The following continuous verbal component. I am a druid and I am transforming into an animal. I am a druid and you can you can maintain this form for only as long as you yell, I'm a druid. I'm a druid. Disclosure. Like a Beast Boy transforming roars real loud. Gotta give this away for you. I don't know anything about Beast Boy, but if he's druid, I don't know. And Station is making it apparent that you're a magically transformed critter, not a mundane one. That might be good. I don't know. You could be a housefly now and completely ignorable. Should harmless beasts be limited to small or medium size? Possibly. Be sensible in the world, or even tiny like a bird. I think the technical size in D&D for flight stuff is minuscule. Yeah, maybe we can, like, tiny. Going back to heroes, everybody. Druids are just like such a painful class to design around. All right, what if we just say harmless beast? There we go. Harmless beast. Flies are not beasts. There. Booyah. Fixed it. All right. Murder hoboing. For the lols. Lighting the inn on fire for the lols? That sounds like a terrible group. Full disclosure, I may or may not be a duck. I am not sorry for eavesdropping. Quack. Some pretty beastly flies. Yeah. What about a horsefly? Yeah, horseflies. They totally count for. Dragonfly. I'd probably give it to him if someone came up with that idea. Okay, let's go back to the core rules. If you insult, I don't think flattering is a problem. If you insult or kill NPCs, expect others to hear about it and to be. Well, so we don't need to say and to be less willing to hear about it. If you negotiate and haggle with every merchant, We're sort of saying the same thing twice. Expect consequences. There you go. We'll keep it a little bit broad. Beast has to be a mammal? No, not necessarily, but yeah. Yeah, not necessarily. The good thing about TTRPGs is that it has a GM who can adjudicate those sorts of things. And a GM who's not opposed to you, a GM who wants to facilitate fun. So like with board games or card games, like rules have to be so precise because the only other person who can adjudicate is your opponent who is against you, right? GMs can sort of figure this thing out. Yeah. So being a sadistic sociopath who flips a coin to... Okay, yeah. So if you insult or kill NPCs, expect consequences. If you negotiate and haggle with every merchant, your reputation as penny pinchers will likely become widespread. If you do something foolish in front of a king, expect to be jailed or worse. If you heal an ally or deal a lot of damage, expect bad guys to notice. If you heal an ally, deal lots of damage. All right, so here we go. If you heal an ally, deal lots of damage, or always uses the same tactics, expect the bad guys to catch on and adapt. There we go. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, let's see where I go. There we go. Bring stacks. There we go. This is the most important rule. The most important rule. Ignore me? I already ignored you. I don't know what that said. Okay, let's keep going. We're making great progress, you guys. So all of these, Checkerino. Text flowing to the art. Okay. I kind of like when text and art sort of blend together a little bit, as long as it's still readable. Should stats always appear in order? I don't really care about that, but a lot of people do, so yeah, they should. In terms of formatting, the book and classes, page 5 issues, should stats always be listed as strength. So apart from like the key stats, because the first stat is like the keyest of the key stats, it's just in my mind at least, it should always be dex, strength, dex, and will, yes. Right now, there's no text to show why dex is listable for strength in some occasions. Here's how 4 stats that impact their effectiveness, including 3 stats. Whoa, hey, where'd that go? Okay, so where do they show up in different spots? Here's our 4. So in this stats on page 5. So it should be strength, dex, int, will. Strength, dex, int, will. It shows up in the right area, in the right order. Suggests text change. Heroes have 4 stats that impact their effectiveness of various stats, including 2 key stats, crucial class, and 2 secondary stats. When ability or spell reference is key, use one of your key stats. Your first key stat has a bit more. I don't think that's necessary. If a stat is listed before a dice roll. So what is the difference here? Is it just that additional little like thing about the 2 different key stats? Let's see. Let's put it on the replay. Heroes have crucial to your okay. 2 secondary stats when an ability or spell references a key. Heroes have 4 stats. All right. Okay, so this is identical. Class and 2 secondary stats. When an ability or spell references key, use one of your key stats. If a stat is listed before a dice roll, roll that many. Roll. This doesn't sound. Roll dice equal to the stat. E.g., for will d8, if your will is 2, roll 2d8. Okay, so class, 2 secondary stats, crucial to their class. Okay, that's the same. Your first key stat Okay, yeah, no, I don't think we need that, but that one clarification about the whatchamacallits, what key means is a good change. Scooch, scooch. So like someone could just prefer like an int based cheat more than a dex based cheat, and I think that's okay. This feedback was from LQ and really was about how key stats were shown in the class descriptions. He was bothered that they were not listed in specific order, but Nimble. Yes, so there's a reason behind that, but otherwise, yes, I think the stats are listed in the same order. Okay. The skills section contradict how to be a good player. Okay. What do you want to interact with the world? You may use one of your skills, but how to be a good player has many examples that tell me. Okay, fine. Propose change. Skills gauge how your character interacts with the world. Yeah, I like that. Don't dex open intelligence. Don't dead open inside. Skills gauge how your character, how well your hero not character, interacts with the world. When you tell the GM what you are doing, they may ask for a skill check. They may ask you to use one of your skills. There we go. And I always spell your wrong, Y-O-U-R, even though I know how to spell it. There we go. I think that's better. Okay, I think that's an improvement. My description is too similar to strength. It's pretty similar to strength. Mike, could you have more emphasis on a character's ability to focus and apply their strength? Ooh, yeah, that's true. Propose your description. Your trained ability to apply your strength effectively. Yeah. Sure. Might. Because like a wizard may not have much strength, but if they have a very high might, you know, they can apply their strength using like a lever or a snatch box. Your ability to apply strength effectively. Yeah, trained ability now. Use might for chopping down trees. Breaking through obstacles. Lifting. So lifting heavy objects, yes, because like you could lift it with your back instead of with your knees, or with a lever instead of your hands. Climbing. Maybe not climbing. Yeah, let's do swimming against the current. Against a current. Like arm wrestling. And endurance is probably going to be more of a strength save. Or arm wrestling. Is arm wrestling one word or two? Copy. Paste. Arm wrestle. Arm wrestling is 2 words, y'all. Cool. Well, arm wrestling is usually going to be against like an NPC character who won't have stats or they'll just roll straight. So arm wrestling might just be a strength check rather than might, because like Yeah, so arm wrestling would not apply. So let's undo that. Arm wrestling would not apply. So against the current, feats of strength, breaking through obstacles, yeah. Arm wrestling would not apply. Arm wrestling is more just a strength check, your raw power. Yeah, we can add climbing back. It's like, yeah, climbing, yeah. Climbing. There we go. There we go. I argued with myself. Don't dex open inside. Clarifying how you recover actions when healed. Yeah, you only get actions back at the end of your turn. So if we roll that way, but gaining HP doesn't grant you actions. Correct. You only get actions at the back of your turn. Correct. Or unless something else like grants you an action. I don't know that. Yeah, if you're working, man, if you're working, Edward, don't get in trouble at work. Vanessa also has climbing as an example. That's like more slippy climbing. Maybe Finesse could have a different example more to do with balancing. Balancing is more so it's a fine line. Balancing is more like a dex save. If you're balancing across a thing, I'd call for a dex save probably. But I mean, you definitely could. They can't fire me. I quit. So I don't think this clarification needs to be made. The facts section, yeah, maybe we can. We'll tentatively put it in the frequently asked questions. Tentatively put it in the FAQ. Do I regain actions when healed? No. You only regain actions at the end of your turn, Buster. Okay, concentration. Can only concentration on one thing at a time. It's never stated explicitly. Ooh. Are you sure about that? Concentration. Find next. Let's search current document. Done. Go to the core rules. Search it again. Find next. Concentration. Concentration. Some spells abilities require concentration to be maintained. A character can one character can only concentrate on one thing at a time. And it's not good to say something like thing. Like thing, and it's even worse to say thing. So it's not good to say one. It's not good to say thing. So so this is the rough. Some spells or abilities. Quit texting me. Some spells abilities require concentration to maintain. A character can only concentrate on one thing at a time. If you let them climb one finesse, then might much be more sad. Yeah. Activity. Sure, one activity. Some activities, there we go, require concentration to maintain. A character can concentrate on one activity at a time. Concentrate. Whenever characters crit or concentrate while concentrating, they must make a strength DC 10 strength save. Feeling this means concentration is broken and the activity fails. on, can concentrate on. I think we had that. You can only concentrate. Some activities require concentration to maintain. A character can concentrate on one activity at a time. A character can concentrate on. Character can only concentrate on one activity at a time. There we go. There we go. And then acting over multiple turns. Where is that? Down here. For abilities that cost more than one action, your actions can be spent over multiple turns in combat as long as concentration is maintained, and you cannot spend actions. You cannot perform other actions. I feel like this is just like an unfinished. So for abilities that cost more than one action, your actions can be spent over multiple turns in combat as long as concentration is maintained, and you do not perform other actions in the meantime unless they are free. There we go. I think that's good. I think this was a rare case where thing is fine. Generally it's not, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, too slow, Josh. Geekman Cave. The Shadow Minion summon one was because it gives the flavor that you can summon multiple at once. Yeah, I think we fixed that. Unless Geekman Cave, unless you're talking about something else, we can go back to that and look at it. Want to make sure that for activities, to make it the same as the concentration part. Maybe I'm getting tired or hungry. Want to make that for activities to make it the same as in the concentration part. For activities instead of abilities. Oh, here. Okay, yes, for activities that cost more than one action. That took me a while to unravel that. I think that was a me thing. I'm pretty sure. Acting, activity, action. It's all yeah. I think that's good. Concentration. Can you do this? Well, okay. I think we fixed all that. If you're concentrating on a spell, can you cast a spell over multiple turns? No, you can only concentrate on one thing at a time. So if I don't think any concentration spell costs more than one action. But like I start casting the 3-action concentration spell, like all right, I'm concentrating on it, spend one action on this turn, and the next turn. So like the concentrating on the thing and casting over 2 turns isn't like 2 different things. Like you're concentrating on that one thing. You're just doing it over multiple turns. So I think that is fine. A Storm Shiver casts Fly, 2 actions, uses their 3rd action to cast a Blustery Gale. Yes, you cannot. So you're concentrating on. Yes. So no. Yes, that is correct. A Storm Shifter cannot do that. You cannot cast over multiple turns if you're concentrating on something. I think that's clear by the wording. If it's unclear still, if you disagree, then please let me know. Assess and combat effectiveness of mental stats. Concern. Assess is not empowering for players. Its usefulness is gated behind the permission and creativity of the DM. It is gated. So everything is gated behind the permission and creativity of the DM. Just to put that out there. I think addition of concentrated on one activity. Okay, good. So everything in a game is gated by behind the permission of the DM and creativity of the DM. So I don't know that's a concern. Sure, like I'd rather have a good DM than a bad DM, but I don't know that's a particular concern. Okay, concern number 2: Inton will have very little going for them in consistent combat value as secondary stats. So not every stat is equal in terms of combat. Not every stat is equal in terms of non-combat. Like they all have their lanes, they all have their usefulness. So for some classes, int is very useful. Like for the Spellblade commander, it lets them do things. For the mage, for lots of other classes. So not every stat is intended to be equally combat useful. Not every class uses int for combat, but they use int for other things, or will for other things. So I think that's okay. Proposed solution. Oh, let's look at this solution. Maybe there's a good solution. Add a baseline hard-coded use of assess that puts combat value for the mental stats in the hands of players, e.g. assess to make a DC 12 examination check or insight check to gain 2 stacks of disadvantage on your next attack this turn. No, I don't know about that. Let me think about it before I say no. So having assess default to examination and insight. So examination is int, insight is will. The DM doesn't decide how much armor you get from Dex. True. I mean, there are mechanics. It's not, D&D is more than just like make everything up. So there are mechanics. I'm not like disagreeing. I hope I'm not coming across as argumentative. So yes, there are definitely rules, but every rule is subject to the DM's discretion. Like, oh, I have 50 billion armor. Okay, well, he hits you. You die. The sun explodes. You die. Right. So having assess hard-coded or maybe at least default to insight in an examination. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of good. Like, could you still use it for other things? I mean, could you still use other skills for it? So examination and insight. Like, would you ever make a finesse check for insight, or for finesse assess? Would you ever finesse assess? Probably not. Like you might, you would never make like a might assess check. Probably wouldn't. You could make a naturecraft or perception assess check. You could make an arcana assess check. So yeah, so if we go to the skills. So we go to skills. So like arcana, like if you're assessing an aberration, elemental, or ooze, then it makes sense to make an arcana check. An arcana assess with arcana. There we go. If you're looking at like a construct, then it makes sense that you would make an examination check. You could make a lore check against like humanoids and undead and like all of these. Naturecraft for monstrosities and plants and beasts. Yeah, so assess, I mean, like, so yeah, like without changing how assess works, like, so assess is like one, so to be candid, assess is one of the weak points, and then not weak points, it's one of the loosest, goosiest points in the game. So on the one hand, I do like how open it is. I like how open and creative of a thing it is. I think RPGs need that kind of thing. My concern is it too open? Is there not enough guidance? Right. Assess should never be a wasted action, even if you fail a check. I think maybe not never, but like maybe like if you roll a nat 1, like assess should succeed roughly as frequently as attacking should succeed. Like 75, 80, 95% of the time. So like it should typically succeed in some way. And there should be degrees of success. Yeah, risk reward is important. So the fun isn't like missing half the time. The fun is like the chance of missing or the chance of like this critical success. Yeah. So if you guys, if anybody's interested in an assignment, if I'm allowed to give assignments. It's something that I'm thinking about. Assess is a cool thing. It's too useful and too cool to cut. Assess is a cool thing to do. I would like to solidify it a little bit. I would like to solidify it a little bit. I'll just say it that way. So any ideas you guys have on that would be cool. The point is less empowering to ask for permission to get something the DM makes up versus putting points in the decks and getting guaranteed. No, I get it. I definitely get it. So that's exactly what I'm saying, Scruffy Cat. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It is more loose than some of the other mechanics, and I'd like to solidify it up. I don't think I want a list of like all 12 things you can do with assess, but like a baseline. Here's 3 things that could happen, right? I think that kind of thing is what I'm looking for. So I don't want to spell out everything, but I think maybe a baseline, like one thing is not enough. Then it's just the lower the armor ability, right? But I think 3 things is about right. I'd like to have like 3 things that that assess can like you can do just to sort of give DMs more to work with, right? So one of the things that I spent a lot of time doing, let me just show you guys. One of the things that I spent just an inordinate. Ooh, and I did get new art for Farhope. So here's some cool art for Farhope. So one thing that I spent just an incredible amount of time doing is like for like the Elder World, for these locations, it's not enough just to have like locations and things. Like there needs to be like hard, like not in terms of difficult, but like solid things to do so that like I as the GM don't just need like do more of the thinking for me. If I'm buying this book, I want someone to do more of the thinking for me so I don't have to make it up as I go. So blight beetles. Like here's an encounter. If you do this, this happens. If you do that, that happens. So like something more specific than like, oh, there's all sorts of like cool little weird things that can happen in Elder Wild. Like, well, what specifically can happen there? So like, here's a list of like 5 or 10 encounters that can happen, right? That kind of thing is what I'm looking for, right? So assess can like lower armor, or it can it can like basically lock the DM. It can like the DM can say like these 2 creatures are going to attack whoever deals them the most damage this round, right? It gives insight into what's happening. So like I don't need to worry about sitting next to the mage who's at 1 hit point because nobody cares about attacking him. I can make an assess check to find out that information. So I as the host one, I can run around and go do something else without having to babysit this other guy, right? Assess, yeah. So like that, assess weakness, assess hazard, assess intent. Yeah, like those kinds of things, like a little bit more, less jello, more solid. So I'd like it to have, I like it to be more solid for the GM, so that they can like have more they know what they're doing, and then for the players also, like why would I ever assess if I don't really know what it's gonna do? I'll just attack, right? So yes, I agree. Evan, I think having a baseline thing that assess does, like what's in the doc, and then allowing the DM to do more. Yes, would work pretty well. Yeah, Josh. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So if you guys want an assignment, I'm looking for ideas like that. Do you want to set a floor to butts and let the ceiling be determined by the GM? What? Floor 2 butts. Oh. I've let me show you guys this. This is funny. Florida butts. Like what in the world? All right, so where is it? Where was it? Here it is. Do you want to set a floor 2 butts? I've got a plugin that like filters like bad language and stuff, just because I don't like that kind of stuff. So it changed it to assess that you typed 2 butts because you spelled it a little bit differently. Okay, do you want to set a floor to assess and let the ceiling be determined? Yeah. So like that kind of thing. Yeah, if you roll like an under 10, like you don't it doesn't work. Like rolling an under 10 doesn't work. Assess weakness, yeah. Weakness, weak point, hazard, environmental intent. What situation will happen next? Yeah, DC 5. Yeah. Double King. Hey, Matt. Good to see you, man. We're on the same page at the point, yeah. So something like that. If you guys can like put it in the document or in Discord somewhere in a thing so that we can chat about it. So that we can like cook on it a little bit more. I think that'd be good. But yeah, Geekman Cave, you're definitely on the right track of what I'm thinking. Scruffy Cat, you too. Josh, yep. Intent could be linked more to a battle strategy. An enemy has many assess. Yeah. So a lot of the legendary monsters they have like assess things built in. They have like weaknesses. Like, oh yeah, you can learn like this or that sort of thing. But yeah, if it was a little more solid. I made a little cheat sheet for my games and accidentally spelled. Yeah. Possibly some extra help. Yeah. Yeah. And so I was thinking of just putting in the GM's guide, but I'd rather it be player facing as well. Like maybe a little bit of extra stuff. Maybe a little bit extra stuff in the GM guide, but I would like it to be the player facing so that players know like, oh, I can use it for these ways or other ways. Different DCs, yeah. Yep. Like if you roll a DC, if you roll a nat 20, like yeah, the armor decrements by 1 step for the entire encounter. Something like that. Should oozling / constructs be immune to diseases and / not have to eat? Yeah, I guess. Fine. Just gotta find it. Oh. Where is it? If I can zoom out, there it is. What even is a people anyway? Was it immune to disease? I don't know. Because computers get viruses. No, you're not immune to disease. If you want to make that case to your GM, you can. But no, like, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Like, if you ever get like silly putty or something, like it lands on the carpet and it gets covered in like fur and stuff, it gets yucky. It's not as good. It's not as good ooziness. Its ooziness goes down. Sanity has an assess list in the Discord. Shoot me a link. Maybe assess is different for each class. I don't know about that, but like the rogue, the cheat does get advantage on their first assess thing or something. So like different classes interact with assess differently, but we're getting too pathfindery right there. We're getting too pathfindery right there. Like could the artificer have like a special assess thing that they do, like the Oathsworn has a special interpose? Yeah, possibly. DMD. So I'm definitely open to that sort of thing. Twin Steel. Assess. So Twin Steel uses it for the following things in his games. Find out what general tactics of the opposing team. Okay. Assess tactics. Find out what one specific creature wants to do next. I think that's the same thing. Find out a specific assess creature, assess target. Attacks weaknesses, maybe? Find out about a weakness or strong point. I feel like that's the same. Find about a temporary weakness. Assess tactics, assess target. And assess environment. It's like, yeah. So yeah, good ideas, Twin Steel. Can we combine any of those? Can we separate any of those? Can we add one? You know, that sort of thing is what I'm thinking about. I don't know if this is what we're going to do, because like, so what would assess tactics mean? Right? And like, why wouldn't I always just only assess targets? Like right now, I feel like I would only ever do one of these, maybe two, and like, why would I ever assess the environment, right? Or like, why would I ever assess tactics? Like if there's like some portal thing that's, you know, puking out demon, you know, evil fiendish things, like why, like, okay, I'll assess the portal. Like, okay, that makes sense. Like when else would I use that, right? So those are good ideas, good starting ideas, good starting categories. Maybe it needs, I think it just needs just a little bit more, but it's definitely good starting point. Should oozlings? I don't think so. Could you make that case for a GM that like, hey, I'm a robot, like I can't catch cold? Sure. But should you just be flat immune to all diseases? I don't know. I don't think so. Sanity's okay. Their sanity's cool. Mage assess Arcana weakness or something. That was sanity stuff. Oh, got it. Sorry. So if you have my players once assessed the environment to determine if there were stalactites upon the ceiling could drop on the boss. Nice. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, let's put that in a list. Like assess the environment, find hazards you can use or avoid. Like hazards you can use against the enemy or avoid that like the enemy might try to use against you, or like, yeah, hazards like a chandelier to swing from, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay. How much more do we have? Ooh, we got a lot. Oh no, a lot of this is just okay. So we got not too much more. Okay, not too much more. Backgrounds have different power levels. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm definitely gonna come back to that. Could backgrounds be alphabetized? I think I want backgrounds in the order of like coolness. So I want like the coolest 1 or 2 or 3 to be like first. Like the coolest one in this category, the coolest one in that category, the coolest one in that category. So that people sort of understand like, oh, this is changing what kind of character I'm making, rather than I'm making a character, let me see which background fits the best, right? It's like out of retirement, like, ooh, maybe I want to make an old character. So they are ordered, like some of them are ordered for a very particular reason. Secretly Undead. I think we come back to that. Issues with Secretly. So yeah, we'll come back to Secretly Undead. Spell feedback. A ton of feedback on spells of Nimble by Blue. Okay. Cartoon Kim Cheese / one-shot encounters on a bad roll. It stops solo monsters in their tracks for 10 days. Throwing that insta-kill? It could be. It could be. Lore-wise, why isn't every world-ending threat hibernated? Good question. Let's come back to that. Isn't unspeakable word unfun design against solo monsters? It feels like a coin flip. Heads, they die. Let's read it. And maybe it is. Maybe it needs to be just like a load of damage, so that it's not. It doesn't just instantly deal like 500 damage. The target within 6 feet dies on a failed int save. Okay, so how that interacts, just so you guys are aware. So some of you are aware, but some of you might not. If you use Unspeakable Word against Grimbeak, it drops them to 0 hit points. It basically takes him from however many hit points he has, 100, to his last stand. 30 more damage and she dies. So it doesn't kill him, just like if you drop to 0 hit points, it doesn't kill you. So it is a symmetrical thing. Where is it? So target within 60 feet dies on a failed int save. If they succeed, you drop to 0 hit points instead. So maybe it should say a target within 60 feet drops to 0 hit points on a failed int save. The target has a disadvantage if they're blade. So it is a tier 6 spell, so it costs 3 actions, and you have to be level 12. And they will roll with advantage if they're unharmed. I think it's probably okay. And for some of the spiciest legendary monsters, they can just ignore an effect, or they can like for instance, if we go to like the spiciest of all, Karis is she who is our desire and end the hollow star herself. Whenever she would suffer any negative effect, she can swap places with a creature of her choice, making them the target instead. So like certain creatures do have ways to just deal with them, right? I did, Josh. I did. I'm starting to fade because I need to eat some food. So I'm trying to. I'm gonna see how much I can get past. So unspeakable word. I think it's okay, but I'm not gonna check it. I'm gonna come back to that. But I think right now it is okay. A variation of the scrying utility suggested by DM Todd. DM Todd. That's confusing the current version and can enhance the story. Scrying pool. Oh. Okay, so if the feedback is the current one is confusing, then I can make it less confusing, but there's a specific intent here. It's not like scrying on a person or like an individual. That's more of like a necrotic thing in my mind, rather than an ice or water spell. Should glossary terms be bolded and in bullet points? Yeah, probably glossary's not done yet. How does daze affect enemies? Let's add that as... we'll add that as one of the FAQ. How does daze affect enemies? If they... Shumling danger spores. Whenever you gain one or more wounds, you excrete sleepy spores. All adjacent enemies are dazed. So if a creature can normally attack twice, and move, they lose one of those. So they can move and attack once, or they can not move and attack twice. So similar to heroes, they lose an action. Like monsters don't really have actions as such, but if a monster can normally do like 1 or 2 or 3 things, they just lose one of those, and then it's up to the GM to choose which one. Yeah, so enemies don't typically have 3 actions as such, but yeah, that's it. G-Book boons expanding mind medium still mentions it can't be chosen by Shadowmancer, so the other mana upgrades don't. Yeah. Okay. Boons balance. So right now I'm sort of done making implementations right now because I've been streaming for a bit. I'm just sort of scanning to get a survey of the remaining changes. Reorganize things. Mana gains are the strongest, especially compared to other minor boons. Maybe. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a survey, send it out, have people rank, just rank everything. F through S tier for the races or ancestries, whatever, and as boons and I'm fading the all the different things, the backgrounds and all of that stuff, so I can get an idea of like where people are, like everybody would always want to pick this one, nobody would ever want to pick that one, so like sort of bringing them a little bit more in line. So I'm going to do a big balancing. The great balancing is happening for all of those things that are more alpha than other things. I don't think I'm gonna do that with all the classes and stuff, because classes have been quite well play tested. We don't need that, at least not at this point. So yeah, boon balance definitely, background balance, ancestry balance, all of that. Yes. Location treasures encounters could use a numbered list of bullets. They could be used as pseudo random tables. Yeah. Yes. Agreed. Yeah. If there's like 9 things, just roll a d10, and if it's a 10, just pick one, or pick 9 or whatever. The counter design tips, 5e. Yeah, so the 5e conversions unfinished. I'm aware. I'm aware of things that need to happen there. Adventure pacing advice. What does an adventuring day look like? How many encounters between rests? I'm wary. So I'm considering adding that, but I'm wary about adding that because every table is just so different. Like a table of 5 players is going to be different than a table of 2 players. A table of 8 players would be different. A table of min-maxers is going to be different. So maybe the advice is just going to be heroes may want to rest when they start collecting too many wounds. That's sort of the idea. Haven for Shumling, how long does dazed last? So let's go to the dazed condition. So I believe it does answer that. Dazed. Loses 1 action. So it's not a permanent thing. It's just for until our next turn. If something is like permanently lose an action, like a petrified type of thing, it'll say like you permanently lose 1 action or whatever, until healed or whatever. But you just lose one of your actions that you have. So how many encounters between rests? It depends on what the encounters are. Like maybe 1, maybe 12, right? Yeah. Yep. Monster level total doesn't work at lower levels, replacing a higher level monster with many lower level ones. I think we already fixed that. There is advice on... Yeah, so yes, so this was before. This was written before. Level 2, Bandit Bruiser, page 287. Does it have 2 d8 plus 1 attacks, or just d8? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's go to the banditos. That's bandits. Spanish. Bandit. Bandit Bruiser. Bash, 2x. 2d8 plus 1. Yeah, it bashes twice. And this is what a bash is. And then Josh, I think Josh, you were asking earlier about like, oh, what kind of damage does it do? Well, bash does bludgeoning, stab does piercing, slice does slashing. Like hopefully like arc lightning does lightning damage. Like hopefully like the hopefully like the names should make like the damage types redundant, and when it isn't, the damage is specified. I don't think they agreed what you suggest to fix the problem on the encounter builder. So like that encounter builder is much more higher resolution, I guess is the word. I really don't like the removal of damage types personally. Yeah, like so like for me, like step, this does piercing damage by separating the cell walls of the flesh of the like and insert into the muscle, and this creates bleeding, and like we don't explain like what piercing damage is, right? We just say piercing damage. And if the attack is called stab, well, it's not dealing poison damage. It's not dealing slashing damage. It's not dealing radiant damage, right? So Mindfire. Yeah. So if there are examples of like, well, which should this be? I need more guidance. Then that is definitely an area where it should be added. Like, I want to avoid cruft and things that are just getting in the way, things that are redundant. But where there should be a word, there should be a word, right? So yeah, I do want that feedback. Yeah, bludgeoning does not cause external bleeding, but it does cause internal contusions by crushing bones, and this is like, no, we don't need that. He bashes you, 2d damage. Not a hill I die on. Yeah, so if there are any skills or abilities or whatever that like this is unclear, then we can either change the name to make it clear, or we'll add the damage type. Yeah. So choose on Mindfire. I might have just been tired or lazy at that point. I don't even know what Mindfire is. Is that an ability? Like I don't even know what Mindfire is. Ice spells then. Yeah, cold and ice damage is the same thing. Like ice deals cold damage. It's on the chaos table. Okay, yeah. So I'll sort through that then. Where's that GM guide? It deals mind damage. Where's mind fire? Psychic damage and gains a burning condition. Oh, that's so cool because it's like psychic damage and you're on fire. That's so cool. And psychic damage also ignores armor, so that I think that does help clarify. That's a cool one. Okay, mind fire fixed. So so a bandit bruiser, it has 2 attacks. Is it meant to be 2? No. So that is not a typo. Missing ideas for the GM guide. I don't think I'm gonna include session 0 guidance. There's plenty out there on that, and I've never needed it for my groups. A lot of groups don't. There's plenty about that. When to roll, when not to roll. Yeah, I think there is some of that, but that probably could be added to. And yes, I am planning on adding stuff to the Appendix of Inspiration. I just put like a couple of bullet points there because so I didn't forget. Isn't burning called smoldering? It is. You passed the test. You passed the test. Change. Smoldering condition. Okay, that was the only remaining use of that. What does it call out psychic as always ignoring armor? I believe it's the core rules with defending, and maybe it could stand using a particular call out. GM's discretion, some damage may not be avoidable, e.g. psychic damage or some areas of effect. Like you can't defend against it. So I don't think it's a hard and fast rule. I think like the Songweaver's mockery ability, vicious mockery. I think it says like and it ignores armor. So generally it just says it ignores armor. Yeah. No, not intent. So I don't want to remove any word that is necessary or helpful. I want to remove every word that is not either one of those, Josh. Yeah. So I like too few words is just as unhelpful as too many words. I think mind fire phrases you could because it seems to have physical effect with smoldering. It does, yeah. As long as it doesn't, yeah. So look, so before I start adding things, I went down here to make sure we have no space. Ignoring armor. Mind fire. Glacial strike sounds like I'm getting hit with ice, not with cold. Sounds like a solid chunk hitting me. I would argue that confusion is worse than the fact the block is cold. Yeah. So some of them, so some of the ice spells might deal bludgeoning damage. Sure, because it's smushing. So if there are any, it's well, let it free, Josh. If there are any spells or abilities that could use that clarification, let me know, and I think we can definitely clarify that. Character sheet. Some of the boxes for skills are not the same width. No, I would never do that. I would never do that to you guys. I mean, I might. All right. Oh, I'll fix that later. Okay. Oh, where is it? Here. I believe finesse, perception a little bit wide, and a little bit narrow. Yeah, I'll check them all. I'll definitely check them all. Miscellaneous. What's the plan for the online character creator? So I've got one person working on it. So Lewis on the Discord, he's been working on one, and Phil also said that we should be able to port a lot of the work from the Foundry module over to like a web-based tool. So either one of those, both of those, I'm not sure. That is definitely a later thing, but there's a plan for that. It's not going to include like the complete text of like every little thing. It's not going to include like all the words for every single ability, but it'll let you pick like like the names of the different spell shaper things that'll let you pick your subclasses. At least hopefully that's what I'm planning. So it's not gonna be just a digital online PDF of the book, right? But the plan is to have it on the website and have it for free, so people can build stuff. Thoughts on the new 4-stat system? Hero's concern. Hero made a H0 made a YouTube video. Interesting. So let me pull that over here. Let's see how long it is. Ooh, 34. So H0, I will Harbinger 0. Cool. I will watch that later. It's gonna be half an hour long. Image responses, that thread in general, cool. Typos, Eldritch Sense. All right, let's fix the typos so we can save Angela some time. Eldritch Sense, page 46. I think it's page this one. You have advantage to detect. Advantage. What is it? You can sense the presence of any shape changer. I think we did already fix that. You have advantage when detecting. This doesn't make sense. You have advantage to detect disguised or hidden creatures. You have advantage when detecting disguised or hidden creatures. All right, let's change that. You can sense the presence of any of yeah. Let's. I think just that might be good. You can sense the presence of any shape changer, because like advantage to detect hidden creatures. Like, well, if the GM tells you like roll this one with advantage, like, well, now everybody knows that there's hidden creatures around here. Yeah, and so that just mechanically can't work. Stormshifter claws, Dire Beast from. I think all of those have been fixed. Interesting homebrew ideas. Searches for allocation of skill points. Currently, you get 1 skill point every level plus 3 at level 1. I think it's plus 4 or 5 at level 1 now. Plus from some of your stats, you can reallocate. Okay. Suggestion. Allow for more flexibility to assign skill points from the start, rather than step by step per level. Oh yeah, I think I did see that. It was a little bit more in depth than I wanted, but I will definitely take another look at that. Just not right at this moment. I think that was a little bit more of an involved one. When detecting, yeah. Usually change it because it skips duck walking. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I think we did look at. Okay, guys, we made it through most of the feedback document. I'm gonna go and end it there. I gotta eat some breakfast. It's almost 2 p.m. here, so. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We're going to end it there and continue to work on things here constantly. So thanks for hanging out, y'all.